Hi, it's Laura Griffith Garland at the Charleston Holistic Center. And yesterday I talked about a pet peeve that science is not just buzzwords. Today I'm going to go the opposite direction and talk about a idea that if you do science, you can't believe in God and you can't do woo woo. I'm here to tell you that that's complete hooey because I'm the perfect example of that. Yesterday I gave you my scientific credentials. Today I'm going to go the other way. I am a formally trained Wiccan. That's a lot of woo woo. I am also an accidental shaman. And I'll give you the story of that. So, when I was in grad school, um, there was this property northeast across the river from St. Louis. It was a nature preserve, and on it there was the old foundation for a house. All it was left was a basement. And one evening, a friend of mine took me out there and introduced me to an older, former veteran, an older gentleman. And we talked for a bit. And I really liked the place. And so for 3 years, I just showed up and talked to him. What I could surmise about him is he was probably former Delta, given the size of his squad and where he worked in the world. What I do know is that after being medically discharged for a gut shot, um, he was rescued by a Lakota medicine man from a blizzard in which he had intended to die. But the medicine man nursed him back to health and then taught him a whole lot of stuff. Changed his life. What I never knew was his phone number. I didn't know where he lived. Heck, I didn't even know his real name. But I'd just, for 3 years, show up randomly. Never the same day, sometimes 3, 4 weeks apart, sometimes 3 nights in a row, sometimes 9 p.m., sometimes midnight, sometimes 4 a.m. And there he'd be in the basement with a bonfire. And we'd talk for hours. I once got up the nerve to ask him if he was out there every night. He looked at me like I was a freaking moron and said, "No, I only come out when I feel like it, when I know you're going to be here." Now let's remember, no telephone. There was no such thing as GPS then. Well, at least not civilian GPS. Because I literally worked on the first civilian GPS unit and it was like a brick, like huge brick. Even the military didn't have something you stick on your vehicle and stuff like that. No. So I worked with him for 3 years. Then I graduated and moved. And then I found the Foundation for Shamanic Studies and took many of their classes and realized I already knew most of it. I'm also formally trained as a shamanic Reiki master, first Reiki master teacher. I also trained in soul retrieval, past life retrieval, qigong, tai chi, a lot of woo woo. People who know my science side ask me, "Do you believe in God?" With everything I have seen and experienced, I have zero doubt. I am 100% certain in a divine consciousness in the universe. Do I put God in a nice, neat little box and declare that only if you believe these certain things and God only behaves this certain way, then that's God? Boy, how silly. And then the people who know my woo side ask, well, how can you do science? There, you can't. You can't do science if you do this. Like, really? If science is more than just buzzwords, if you really understand it, and if woo woo is more than just some little flaky thing, and you really understand it, these two things mesh beautifully and make something more than the individual parts. So, can you do science and believe in God and do woo woo? You betcha. I do it every day, and you can too. Just saying. Thank you, and namaste. Sorry.